All right, man, we back in the building. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. You know, we worldwide around here. I go by the name of Tommy Guns. This is the Quote Ghost podcast. If you are not subscribed, if you watch my videos every day, I am trying to post at least 3 videos each day this year, trying to be consistent, trying to give y'all quality content, that you can always, tune in to, enjoy, consume. Hopefully you find some value in. And if you do happen to find some value in the content, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, hit the bell icon, and jump in the comment section and join the discussion. Because, okay, and what are we doing here? Like, why am I reacting to these videos? Why am I talking to you guys every day? I feel like a lot of YouTubers do this just to report on like negative news and just to like criticize people and, have all kind of gotcha moments and just look down on people. But that's not what we doing over here. I feel like one of my philosophies in life, or one of the ways I like to look at life, is I would rather learn from other people's mistakes and observe other people's moves and where they may have went wrong, so I don't have to make the same mistake. So that's the angle I want to approach my YouTube channel from. I'm not commenting on all these negative stories to paint people in a negative light. I would just like to observe where other people are moving wrong, so I know and a common sense way to avoid these situations in your daily life. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's get into it. I covered a story, right? Allison Holker, Twitch's widow, ex-wife, whatever you want to call it, because I think he died like 2 years ago. He was a very prominent dancer, DJ, personality, very sunny, rosy personality, very bright disposition, but turned out to be a facade, as I suspected back when I kind of tuned into him before he passed. And he ended up, unaliving himself, and nobody saw it coming because he never showed, the depressed or the downside of, his existence. Every time you saw him, it was like a big smile on his face. He put his family out there. He made his wife an influencer also. And it just all seemed a little fake to me. God bless his dead. No disrespect to him. But, I kind of have the ability to see through somebody's, fake smile they putting on their face. And I didn't see him unaliving himself, but I could see that maybe something wasn't right in the situation, But anyway, fast forward 2 years later, Allison Holker, she's writing a book, a memoir, a tell-all, because she found a journal of his, and it is kind of painting him as a drug addict. She put a lot of his business out there in the streets. She made the family members, including his mom, sign an NDA to even come to his funeral, and the family is very up in arms about it. And even people like her ex-manager are coming out calling her a narcissist and saying you're going to be exposed soon. Can't believe you did that. Putting your late ex-husband's business out there in the street where you could have just left it how it was, because he really didn't have a stain on his legacy other than the fact that he unalived himself, But now people may look at him as an addict, or, she also put it out there that he may have been molested as a child, and it's just wild, So this is Wesley, his stepdaughter, and, of course, she's came out in the attempt to defend her mom, with everything that's going on. Rightfully so. That's her mom, and he was her stepfather. but I'm sure, and this is no slander against her. I just want to observe what she's talking about, go through it with you guys, and get your opinion on it. So let's check out what she had to say.
My mom asked for NDAs to be signed when we were seeing Steven's body, because God forbid somebody that went to that took a photo of Steven and put it on the internet, or shared it with somebody else. That's the type of things that NDAs are for. It's not so you can never talk about Steven. You can't ever talk about, you grieving him. You can't post about it. That's not what it is. And for all the people saying it, I just feel like you're uneducated. I'm sorry, but like, truly, it's.
But like immediate family, including like her mom, like I understand. I've seen some ghettoer funerals where some uncouth person will go to the funeral, take a selfie with the person in the casket, and post it on social media, and it's very distasteful and stuff like that. But making a man's mother sign the NDA at her own flesh and blood, her own kid's funeral, and you're just like the wife, that's kind of wild to me.
I'm fed up, because NDAs are so important. And if you guys don't agree, that's cool. I'm grateful for my mom making sure that everybody signed NDAs, and she put up that rule. But also, regardless, some people didn't even sign the NDAs. And my mom was lenient because she understands at the end of the day, like, this is family. So y'all want to disrespect her, and she's still nice, she's still kind, she's still forgiving. But you have to know, like, even when Steven was alive, people that attended our events, they would have to sign NDAs. But now, just because it's my mom handing the paper, y'all, like, it's.
I don't think it's just because your mom is handing the paper. It's just like, I can see, because Twitch was a pretty big deal. And if he's having a party of sorts, and he's inviting different people, and he don't necessarily want everybody talking about, a high profile event, a high profile, like, private event that he's having, then maybe, a NDA with non-family members is more appropriate. But like at a man's funeral, making his immediate family sign an NDA, I don't know about that one.
It's different. And it's just annoying. Like, for that whole day was supposed to be beautiful, and instead it was less than that. Like, we were gonna say our goodbyes, and instead people were yelling at each other and bashing my mom, and like, that's a day that's taken away from her, and she can't remember it as being the.
But again, I am not attacking this young lady. But your stepfather, what happened. So like, I never felt like funerals was supposed to be like a beautiful, like, I don't understand how a funeral can be a beautiful thing. It's a day of grieving, yeah. But it probably would have went a little bit smoother if your mom didn't insist on everybody signing paperwork that they felt like they couldn't talk about, like, their family member passing. I might be mistaken. I might be wrong.
The day that we all wanted it to be, because his family was making it otherwise. And like, when I say that this day, like, it's imprinted onto my brain. Like, one, because I had to say goodbye to the person that I loved and valued. But then on top of that, I'm having to deal with seeing my mom go through so much. Like, it's a different type of hurt, because these are people that we're supposed to love and value, and yet they're constantly doing things that make me see them as, like, less. Like, they're the ones impacting that image. But they're also the ones taking it onto social media. So I just don't get it.
Wait a minute now. They didn't, to my knowledge, they didn't bring it to social media until your mom put out a book about Twitch's life, exposing things that he probably didn't want exposed, like, I don't think you can really bring that to the family. I didn't see anything about this story, or it was not an inkling online about any of this until that People magazine interview came out, and until Allison put the book out exposing Twitch and secrets that he probably didn't want out in the media. So you can't really blame, I can't really blame the family for anything that she's talking about right here.
Because my mom's been respectful. My mom's kept her P's and Q's.
But this is this lady's mom, so it's one more piece of it.
Literally, it's okay. What else? I think right now, everyone's bashing my mom for, also, my mom never said that Steven was an addict. Let me say that.
We gotta stop her again. We gotta stop her again on that one. Let's see. Can we bring the article up? What does this say? Allison Holker. Let's see. Allison Holker made a devastating discovery about her late husband, Steven Twitch Boss. One of the hardest days of her life. Weeks after the Ellen DeGeneres Show co-executive producer and longtime DJ died by unaliving himself at the age of 40 in December 2022, the dancer uncovered a cornucopia of drugs, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances I had to look up on my phone hidden inside his shoe boxes. Now, that's not necessarily calling him an addict, but she didn't just say he smoked weed sometime, you know. She said a cornucopia of drugs. That ain't even a word you hear too often, you know. That sound like addict behavior, you know.
Never said that he was an addict. But if y'all want to take a headline for a news article and turn that into being the thing that you're paying attention to most, that's literally on you, right? But I mean, in our house, how he ran things, like, I'm his kid. He was trying to like teach me and educate, like, obviously, like, be that fatherly role, right? So he'd be open and vulnerable about him smoking weed. Also, my mom's not calling him a terrible person for smoking weed. Like,
it's not about calling him like a terrible person. It's just from the outside looking in, it's been 2 years. Your mom, or Allison, has, supposedly moved on. She has a new boyfriend. I understand she's a grieving widow. I couldn't imagine if, my spouse did something like that, and, God forbid that were to happen. But I would hope I would see the signs. She also said she didn't see the signs of him, being depressed or being that down to where he would want to unalive himself. But, my whole thing in this is just, she shouldn't be, at the end of the day, she shouldn't be putting that man's business out there like she doing, especially, she shouldn't be monetizing it. This shouldn't be a thing that's in her. This shouldn't be the selling point of her book. Like, this shouldn't be in her book. She shouldn't have did an interview with this being the crux of that interview to make some money off of 2 years after her husband died. That's just a wild thing to me. It does not come across well. And that's why she's getting flamed in the media right now. And I think rightfully so. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I don't want to hold y'all up for too long. We get in, we get out over here. Do you think Allison is wrong for putting this man's business out? Me personally, I don't blame her daughter and his stepdaughter for coming to the mother's defense. I think she's a little young and a little biased on the subject at hand, and she may look at it a little differently in the future. But I just thought it was interesting that she even made this video, that her mom even allowed her to put the video out. And I'm curious if the mom even encouraged it or gave her the idea to do so in the first place. But let me know what y'all think, man. I am Tommy Guns. This is the Quote Goes podcast. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Every person that subscribes and supports me, I love you. I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.